Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. This is a bit of a different video. It's obviously Liam again. A bit of a different video here. I'm looking to mix up my channel a bit. I've got the Foot Manager content and I do enjoy playing Foot Manager, but it's not, at the minute I don't have a save I'm really into, so I'm not really sure what to do on that front. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to try and mix it up. I'm enjoying playing WWE 2K at the minute. I'm enjoying my WWE, I'm enjoying my wrestling at the minute, so I've enjoyed it for a while, but obviously I figured I'd try and add this to my channel just to see how it goes. I'm thinking of doing a series on it, basically where I try and improve, because at the minute I'm very, very bad. I need all the practice I can get, which is why some footage is going to be in the background of this match, of this talk. This is basically going to be a Wrestlemania 35 review. I'm going to give you all my thoughts and basically give an overall review of it. So I'm just going to get into this now. I am thinking of adding more WWE content to my channel. I'm debating doing a series where I'll try and improve up the rank, so instead of just being on the lower difficulties, try and get up to legendary eventually. It will take a lot of practice, but I'm debating doing that or giving that a go. Let's get into this match and then we'll start our WWE Wrestlemania talk. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about is basically an overall review of the show. Now, I'll get to my overall rating that in the end, but I'm very happy with the show. I'm gonna break it down a bit, but I feel like this is the show they finally listened to the fans. They put on a good show for us and gave us all what we wanted, and I feel like I can't really complain with that. Let's go to the top rope. It started off with obviously the cruiserweight match, which was a good match. No one can say otherwise. It was a good match. Obviously, Buddy Murphy, a lot of people feel like it was his time. He couldn't really go elsewhere, but obviously I don't exactly know where he can go now. So to me, it's a bit like, well, either way he's a bit screwed, isn't he? Like, I don't know where he can go either way. I don't know what's next for him. He may obviously try and get his championship back, but beyond there, because he's been such a big name in the cruiserweight division, does he go up to Raw? Does he go up to SmackDown? I don't know. But it was a phenomenal match. No one can deny that, and it started off the show well. Cruiserweights always tend to on any show. They kick it off quite well. Next was the Women's Battle Royal, and there was good and low points to this. So it had some bright spots. There was people you wouldn't usually expect to do well had bright spots. So Dana Brooke done well. You had obviously Dana Brooke done well. Sarah Logan obviously done very well. So they were all good spots in the match. They done very well for each other. Sarah Logan looked impressive. Dana Brooke had a little spell. Obviously, you know it's not going to come to anything, which is basically my overall criticism of the match. It was nice to have some surprises, some good performances here and there, but it doesn't mean anything. Like, I don't understand why I'd ever feel... I don't understand what the point in it was, necessarily. I know it's adding to it, but the show was already long enough. I like Carmella, and I'm glad she won something. But when it's coming to nothing, it doesn't make a difference. Like, she's not going to get a push. She's not going to get a championship match. She's going to be doing a few dance breaks. That's literally going to be it. And to me, that's a bit pointless for a win on a WrestleMania. It's literally as pointless as it can come. I don't understand what the point it was, but oh well. I guess it was to get people on the card, and I do understand that. Obviously, you want more people on the card. You want to give them the bonus, so you can say to them, "Oh, look, we appreciate you," but all that stuff. I understand why they do it, obviously, but that was it. It was good for the most part, but there was obviously bad points in it. Next up was the Raw Tag Title match. Now, I'm a big fan of Zack Ryder. I have been for a while. I believe he's a good talent to have. I do believe he's underutilized. Obviously, most people do. I'm also, I wouldn't say a fan of Kurt Hawkins. I I won't say I'm a fan of him, but he seems like a nice guy. You know, I'm not exactly against him, but it is what it is. I'm glad they won. It was a good moment. It could have been built up to a lot better. A lot better. So they could have had, obviously, a mini feud leading into WrestleMania, which they didn't. But that's a matter for a different day. They should have, but they built the match well. So they had obviously, they started off with lacking confidence per se, and he wasn't stepping into the match. He wasn't really doing much, but then obviously that built up as time progressed. It then went to obviously him building up in confidence, and he started to feel himself a bit more. He started to get involved in the match a bit more, and he did eventually pick up the win for the team. It was a roll-up. It wasn't like a massive dominating win, but it's what you'd expect from a storyline like this. To be honest, you wouldn't expect, oh, suddenly the Brock Lesnar or suddenly The Rock. You'd expect them to slowly build it up, and I'm intrigued to see where it goes. They could easily just go, oh, like we've done in the past. You're losing your title the next night. Zack Ryder was, because he's done it a few times. That's it, tough, you're done. Whether or not they do it, I don't know, but I'm intrigued to see. I'm intrigued to see what they do with that. It's gonna be good to see. I'm hoping they get a little bit of a run. I'm hoping most of the new titles do, but we'll see how that goes. Then it was the Randy Orton Styles match. Now, I'm going to be honest, I have no opinion on this, on the feud at least. The match was good. You'd expect it from those two, but at the end of the day, you've got two quality players. I'm thinking of obviously 2K mode here. Two quality wrestlers. They're gonna put on a good show. Obviously, it's a matter of just putting them in a match and it happens. But at the end of the day, they put on a good match. I'm not too involved in the feud. I didn't really care who won either way. It wasn't something that really stood out to me. But we'll see what happens with that. I don't think they'll continue their feud. Possibly will. They'll play the whole Randy Orton's bitterly lost sort of route. Better not than that. The next match was actually the men's battle royal, and I'm gotta admit, this was the worst match of the night for me. I feel like it was predictable. There was nothing really stand out in there. No special moments. I had the SNL host, which, I'm not being funny, isn't a good look at all. You don't need that in there. You shouldn't have the SNL host. It didn't add anything to the match at all. It was literally just a case of why. They just made the match look pointless. In my mind, they like belittled it, which obviously isn't a good thing. It was like a belittling to the match, and it was just pointless. Braun shouldn't be in these type of matches. He should be in a better spot, but obviously he's not. I feel like they've sort of killed and missed the train with with Braun. I feel like they've missed the train with Braun. I don't know why I'm calling him Brock. They've missed the train with him a bit. He's not as popular as he was once. He should have won a title a long time ago. Obviously, I'm saying, oh, he's a beast. When he does, it'll be great. And I think Booker T said that on the kickoff show. He should have won it a long time ago. Now they've just missed. They've missed the book. They've missed the train with it, and now he's just messing up with that. Next up was obviously the Beast Slayer. It was a good match. They shouldn't. It was a really good match actually, for what it was. It wasn't obviously the best. I say a really good match. It was good because a favourite won. Everyone obviously wanted Rollins to win. He was a favourite. There's no doubt about that. He was a favourite. No one really likes Brock. I don't know anyone who's actually a fan of Brock. They say, oh, he's a draw. Where? He doesn't need the title to be a draw. I think a lot of people said that he doesn't need a title. He does not need it. It does not add anything to him or his character. It's just sort of there as like, oh, he's my top. I believe he's my top guy. Let's push him to the moon and make him the good guy for pay-per-views. Who cares about Raw? Who cares about defending it on there? It was really stupid, but that at least Rollins won it. It was a case of them listening to fans, and fans wanted a active champion, which Rollins is going to be. He's a popular guy. He's pretty much one of the most over guys on the roster. Next, we had the SmackDown title matches, which I can't say anything about. Like, no one could complain about the Usos winning. They are a popular tag team, and to be honest, it was a very good match, which you'd expect it to be with the people in it. The only criticism I'd actually have is of the actual fact that Rusev and Nakamura are a tag team, but I guess it gets them on the card. It just gets them there. It's not really meant to be. I don't think it's going to be a permanent thing, obviously, but it's literally just meant to get them on the card, I think, at this point, because WWE doesn't know what to do with them. Obviously, we'll see, and potentially it could develop. Maybe they'll get a tag title reign in the future. Doubt it, but we'll see about that. We'll see how that goes. Other than that, it was a good match. Obviously, you'd expect to be with the NXT guys who've now officially left. I'm guessing they'll get picked a brand in the Superstar Shake-Up, which is an quote-unquote international shake-up. That's literally just a way of saying NXT will be involved. Hoping that actually means that people go back down to NXT and it won't just be, oh, okay, you've gone from NXT now? Yeah, we just got a bare roster. Too many people on actually Raw and SmackDown for Vince to be able to book, which is literally what's happening right now. He doesn't seem to know how to book a full show. I'm hoping people actually go back. I wouldn't mind Breeze go in, Ty Dillinger. Just to be honest with you, a lot of the old NXT guys who aren't really getting a fair crack on TV, they say, Triple H keeps saying, oh, I want it to be a third brand, then make it. Like, the reason it's not a third brand isn't because it's less than the others. It's more because of the pay gap. It's not taken as seriously because there's a pay gap. If it was treated the same, if it had superstars, same wages, if it wasn't just a network special, then it would be treated as a third brand or its own brand. But it's not for that reason. Next up, it was the Shane McMahon, The Miz match, which was very, very good. It was a lot better than I expected it to be. Obviously, you've got, quote-unquote, the best in the world, Shane McMahon and Miz. Miz should have won that match. He looked very strong, which I'm very happy about, but obviously, he could have looked stronger. He could have won it, which would have made him look a lot better, but he didn't, so we'll just work with what we got. We can't really complain too much. It is what it is. We're working with what we got. People can't really complain too much. The Miz should have won. It's without a doubt he should have. He put on a good shift. It was just a technicality to continue the feud. We can't really expect much more, considering the feud's been building up for a while, and it's only been literally, say, a month of it. Literally, they're not going to end that much of a build-up after one match, are they? They're just not going to do it. If it was maybe 2 matches, then yeah, they'd be like, yeah, sure, let's build it up. If it was 2 matches, so they'd be like, yeah, it's over, fine. But I feel like because it's only been that one match, they're like, nah, it's not happening. But obviously that is what it is. We are in the best shape in this match. Yeah. So they are going to continue that, but it was a very good match. Next up we had the Next up we had the tag title matches for the women, which was a very, very, very good match, and I'm very happy with. Yeah, the Iconics one, and their passion for the business is undeniable. I'm very happy they've done well. I'm very happy they got into it, and I'm very happy they won. I'm also happy Beth was in it. She still got it. She can still go, which is brilliant. She literally was one of my favourites when she was actually in WWE, so I'm really glad she was back and she had the opportunity to obviously perform. It was a good match, and obviously the Iconics, like I said, they're really passionate for the business and they're a good team. I can't complain at all about them winning. I'm happy for them, and I do actually really like them as a tag team. I'm hoping they don't just have a fluke 1 week reign or even 2 days, but we'll see how that actually transpires. Overall, I feel like that was one of the best matches of the night for me, just as a person, just being biased because of obviously who was in it. But that was fine. Next up, we did actually have the Kofi and Daniel Bryan match, which I actually believe was the match of the night. Without a doubt in my mind, was the match of the night. Kofi, phenomenal. He's won. Fine. It was a feel-good moment. Everyone's happy about that. Obviously, everyone was rooting for Kofi. Daniel Bryan, he's a heel. He's not supposed to be cheered for. I don't feel like many people are a fan of him at the minute. At least I don't believe they would be, because he is supposed to be a heel. But anyway, it's not. It was a good match, best match of the night by far. Both men put in a shift, and like I said, it was a feel-good moment for it, and I was really glad that he finally got the push he deserves. So we'll just see how that. Actually goes with that. I'm hoping it's not just a one-night thing. Like I said, we'll have all the other titles. I'm hoping it's Vince doesn't try and screw him over. Oh, he's had his moment, sort of thing. Done. But we'll see how it goes on SmackDown. I'm assuming what will happen is they'll continue the feud with Daniel Bryan. He'll probably just start being a fighting champion like Rollins and start doing open challenges, and they'll build him up from there. He will lose it. He's not going to. I don't believe he's going to be a very long reign. I believe he'll at least have a few months, but that is what it is. It's its own. It's its own thing. It's not going to be forever. We'll hopefully. Okay, top row it is. Yeah, it's not going to be forever. It's not going to be like a year reign. I doubt it will be. Obviously, his whole stick was like, oh, he's the ultimate underdog, which was, funny enough, it's come full circle. That's what Bryan was technically. Now he's defeated Bryan to be the underdog, so that was pretty good factor. Next up, we obviously had Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio. It happened. If you blinked, you'd have missed it. Funnily enough, that wasn't even my least favourite match of the night, because I like Joe. My least favourite was actually the men's battle royal, like I've said, but that's a matter for its own day. Next up, we actually had the Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. I'm going to be honest, I don't actually like that at all. I believe I didn't like that match. I don't feel like either of them could afford it to lose, so I feel like it shouldn't have been a match at all. I feel like Drew and Roman needed the wins, so it's not a case of. It's not a case. Oh, I was trying to go for my finisher there. It's not a case of obviously just let's pass it. Drew looked strong. He did. He dominated a lot of the match, but it's still a loss. He's sort of stagnating at the minute. He needed that big win. He should hopefully go for a title soon. He'll probably feud with Balor, although I'd like to see him go up for the Universal Championship and potentially challenge Rollins, but I don't see that happening. Next up, we had the Triple H match versus Batista. It was a good match. I didn't really have any real affiliation with it or any preference, so it wasn't anything of note for me. Oh, damn it. It wasn't really anything of note for me. I didn't really have any form of preference for it. So, it's not something I was too focused on. It was a good match, but obviously, here's to hoping that Triple H retires, because to be honest with you, it doesn't really make a difference for me. He's just literally a legend, supposedly, for the whole Middle East shows, because they want to have big names on there, and he just obviously wanted to get in the good grace of the company, so he's willing to do those shows, which some superstars aren't. Daniel Bryan, John Cena. Allegedly Roman Reigns isn't happy to do them either, which would be those three are big losses for him. So I'm guessing that's why they go with the Legends route, because a lot of them are just like, oh, yeah, we'll see what we can do with that. I'm happy to. Yes, a lot of them are just happy to obviously be there, and they don't really have much of an affiliation with it. But it is what it is. He's not retiring. It was a good match. I feel like I'm just saying it's a good match for all of them, because they were. With the Ric Flair ending, did I feel it was necessary? No. Did it add anything to the match? No. Did it take away from the match? No. It was literally just there for the whole coming full circle thing. They wanted to add to they wanted to. Oh, it started where it ended. It ended where it started, sort of thing. It wasn't anything serious. It's not really a massive detractor from it. Next up there, obviously the Baron Corbin. The less I say about that, the better. Kurt Angle should have won. Just flat out should have. Him losing was just stupid. It's his final match. He should have been given a win, and it's not. Corbin does not. His character would not lose anything from taking a loss. It would not take away from him. I don't believe it hurt his character too much, like it would with other people. Oh my god, I didn't even know how I'd done that. I don't believe his character would be hurt too much from a loss like other people's would be. So Drew, I believe he needs a win. Other people, like Baron, I don't believe they do. Oh, come on, finisher. No, okay. Yeah, I wasn't focusing on that because it makes no difference because the ref's not up. Yeah. Next up, we actually had the Finn Balor match, and the Demon was in it. Did he need to be in it? Absolutely not. Was he in it? Yes. Why? For the sake of saying, oh, the Demon's back. You know, he definitely needed that, which he absolutely didn't. He did not need the Demon there. It literally just speeded up the pace. It didn't add anything. I guess it added, you know, a whole, ooh, yay, specialness to it. But it wasn't anything really of note. It was more just, he's there for the sake of it. He's there to help him win. It was pointless. Absolutely pointless. Yes, I won that. I'm just going to continue to talk because I was getting distracted doing both. But yeah, it didn't add anything to it, and I believe it shouldn't have actually been there. It just speeded up the pace of the match. It was genuinely what I'd expect from a Balor Bobby Lashley match. It was just Balor pretty much getting the most of the good spots. Bobby Lashley using his power for a bit of domination in the middle, but overall Balor coming out on top. That's usually what I expect. It was more fast paced, but that was literally it. Next we had the main event, which was a very good match, and obviously Becky came out on top, which brilliant. Everyone loves Becky. I'm a big fan of hers, and the ending's the only criticism I have of that match, which, to be honest, I think that was a mistake on Ronda's part, but obviously I'm sure they'll probably mention that in a promo or something on Raw. Tomorrow we'll find out about that. Overall, I'm going to be honest, if I had to give it an overall, I'd say it's an 8 out of 10. It's not the best Mania ever, but pretty much every match, like I've said when we went through the matches, was good, if not solid. So like the AJ match was great. SmackDown tag match was great. The build up for the Raw and the way it was laid out and structured was great. The Kofi Daniel Bryan match on like brilliant. 4.5 star, if not 5 star, absolutely quality. So I believe it's a very good Mania. I believe it is possibly one of the best in a while. Yeah, probably is one of the best in a while. W's finally giving fans what they want. How long it'll last, don't know. But I'm intrigued to see where they go with all the title changes. So that's my overall thoughts of Mania. I hope you guys did enjoy it. I'm done with the 2K. I am looking to do a series where I try and get obviously better, because at the minute I'm not the best at all. I'm really bad, actually, and I need to go up the difficulties. I want to eventually get to Legendary, so next year I can do proper WWE 2K saves and stuff like that, but we'll obviously deal with that when it comes to it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If there's any feedback, feel free to leave it in the comments. Anything you want to talk about, if you want to have a conversation about Wrestlemania, feel free to leave it in the comments. I know I repeat myself a lot in this video. It was literally a case of I kept getting distracted by the game. Maybe I'll work on that more as the videos come, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and